every time we focus on those choke points, like you've appropriately pointed out, new and innovative ways are coming to our attention as to how drugs are getting in, and in very, very, very rare cases, because I believe I have the best staff in the world in terms of correctional service staff. Every now and then I get some staff member who has been enticed to bring something into the institution, and unless I'm searching every single person, every single visitor, it's I wouldn't say absolutely impossible, but it's extremely difficult for me to give 100% guarantee. So the position that I take is that we will do everything in our power to stem that flow the best way that we can.
Thank you, Senator Banks. Senator Milne. Oh, I'm sorry, I've done it again. Senator Baker.
Oh, I'll be very brief. Commissioner, you know, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy when you're a prisoner in one of your prisons. You don't have to go and get a search warrant. You know, our case law shows us that you can listen to somebody's telephone calls, you can read their mail, and when you visit one of your prisons, you go in and you put all of your material in a locker, and then you go through a screening device just like you're in an airport. There's dogs on either end. Now I'm saying what's presently in place. Presently in place. There's dogs on either end. And then you go in. Everything is searched just as when you go on an airplane, when you go visit somebody in one of your institutions. Some of us have been there to visit, but and so you've got that. Now you say that you're going to, you know, given the tennis balls and the arrows, well, you can have a roof or something, but prevent that. Or pigeons. But now you're going to have drug detectors, dog teams. You already have that. I presume you're thinking about new sniffer dogs?
These are additional dogs, Senator.
These are additional? Would these be not just marijuana, but cocaine and this sort of thing? Would be different? In other words, you're going to hire new dogs?
Sorry, maybe I should just clarify. We currently have about 40, 45 dogs. Through this investment, we will actually ramp up to 125 dog teams across the country. And those dogs are able to detect most drugs that they get the same training as the Canadian Border Service Agency does. We're also training dogs and you may laugh, but I'm going to say it, but it's true, to detect cell phones. The cell phones, they can detect the cell phones, and the cell phones we know are being used by offenders to try to arrange their drug drops. So,
yeah.
Yes.
So you already have dogs, but you're going to get new dogs who can sniff new different things. And you say you're going to beef up your security intelligence capacity in a prison when you already have total control of that anyway. ION scanners, that's used for detecting drugs in money, for example, with the RCMP. They can detect anything.
That's right. You would probably see a similar type device when you go through the airport. If you get pulled over for a secondary search, they do a swipe. It's that kind of technology.
And then you're going to have enhanced perimeter security technologies. I don't know, Commissioner. You know, I mean, that amount of drugs in prisons, I mean, as Senator Banks said, if there's that amount of drugs in prisons, then we don't, and that much control, a prison is not a hotel.
A shopping center.
Yeah, it's not a shopping center. There's no expectation of privacy there. You already have these people in custody. You know, then there's no hope for the general, for us eradicating the problem in the general population if you can't eradicate it in your prisons. Is there something we're missing? You know, apart from the pigeons or the arrows or the tennis balls, there must be something missing to allow that amount of drugs to be getting in prison. Do you have any idea at all?
I think a couple things, Senator, because you raise an extremely good point. One of the things, just to clarify, is that we do not have the absolute right to search or strip search offenders or visitors at will. We have to have the law is very clear on this for us, and it's very, very, very clear. So the assumption that we have the absolute control, we have control in terms of movement in and out, but in terms of the ability to do that kind of level of searching isn't the case. So we need to supplement our approaches, our practices, so that for those areas where we don't have a reasonable or probable grounds to search, that we get some kind of indicator that will allow us to move to that next level. This is a challenge. It's not just a challenge in our correctional system. It's a challenge in every correctional system around the world.
So you're saying that you need the same authority as the border security guards have?
I'm not necessarily.
In other words, you're suggesting an amendment to your act to allow you to do the same thing as our border patrol guards do.
I'm not necessarily advocating for any amendments.
No, but you're saying that's your problem.
I'm saying that's one of the challenges that we have. So in order to compensate that challenge, I need to look at different practices, different approaches, different pieces of technology that would assist my staff to do their job.
So at our airports, we don't have machines that's capable of actually detecting those sorts of substances on people who go through? Or is there a problem with your machines not being up to date with the airport machines?
No, again, if you look at the technology that we have, each one has a very specific purpose. Dogs, obviously, for detecting drugs. But again, each institution, almost each institution currently has one dog. A dog can only be worked for so long before they have to have a break. They're not unionized dogs, but they just, in terms of their detection capacity, they need to be have a break from. Yes.
Senator Baker.
In terms
Senator
of the
Royale has a supplementary.
Yes. And in terms of the sorry, I'll just finish very quickly, senators. In terms of the walk-through scanner, that is a metal detecting device. So unless the drugs were, for example, wrapped up in tinfoil, pills, substances like that are secreted in body cavities, that device won't detect it. The walk-through scanner won't detect it for us. The ion scanner, similar to the devices that you see at the airport, allow us to, through sampling different pieces of either clothing or materials, driver's license, things that people touch on a regular basis, will allow us to assess whether that piece has come into contact or has drug particles on it, which then allows us to form a balance of probability or reasonable grounds assumption in order to move to a more intrusive search.
I have two supplementaries lining up here, Senator Baker, from Senators Royale and from Senator Campbell.
I don't want to extend the time on this, but to me a needle is in metal, and second, there are now scanners whereby you've seen it certainly, and you know it better than me, but now there is a scanner whereby you see everything.
Yes.
Not only not the airport scanner, but the new scanner whereby, you see the nude body of the person.
Yes.
So I don't understand that with that kind of scanner, you cannot detect if somebody has on him or her any kind of substance.
No, and that's a good example, Senator. We've just recently purchased one of those scanners. It's commonly referred to as a milliwave scanner. It's short of being sort of fluoroscope-type technology, it allows us to see through the body clothing. It doesn't allow us to penetrate the body itself, but if people have, for example, secreted something in their armpit or things like that, we'll be able to see that. We do have some...
Not in a body cavity.
Not in a body cavity, but we have some, again, we have other opportunities to try to do some things with that. But that kind of technology we've just purchased, we're just testing it out. We're currently running into a challenge as to whether that constitutes a strip search. And in order for a strip search to occur, again, we have certain procedures that we have to follow. So we're testing the machinery, we're testing out its efficacy within a prison environment where it's best used, but we're also seeing how it fits into the legislative and regulatory framework in which we have to work.
Okay, colleagues, we have less than 25 minutes left. And I wonder if we really could focus the remainder of our questions a little bit more narrowly on the content of the bill. and its impact on the correctional services.